Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I'm gonna give you 5 incredibly sexy fragrances for under 40 bucks. Smell sexy for less, huh? That should be the slogan for this channel, because the store Ross, dress for less. Now this is not gonna be in any numerical order, but I will be giving you an additional fragrance, so it's gonna be 6 and not 5, only because I ended up filming this one. I'm like, you know what? This has got to make the list. So the additional one is going to be Seductive Red. This stuff is kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. It does lean more towards the younger demographics, but if you're an older guy who likes it, then of course, wear it. You are gonna get like lemon zest or just citrus, in my opinion. There is some kumquat, some fig. Now the fig and that kumquat do give it a little bit of a fruity touch. There is vanilla, there's some sort of amber, you know, whether it's benzoin or olibanum, some sandalwood, but as well some orange blossom. There's not really a whole lot of orange blossom, but maybe more towards the back. But what it pretty much is, it's a fruity scent with vanilla, some spices, and definitely the woods and that amberiness to it. Really nice. It's perfect for like a night out, whether it's a date, a lounge, or even a club. I do think that this can be worn in the club, in that I think it's heavy enough to like kind of like drown out or cut through like the Le Mans, the 1 Millions, that sort of bit. But less is more. You have to be part of the 60 Spray Squad. So what I said in that video, like when I did this one here, is that you got to be reasonable with the applications. Don't be a dick, okay? Don't be a heavy sprayer. Now if you're going to the club, you know, maybe like an additional spray or two just to help cut through the other fragrances. But if you're going on a date, 2 to 3 sprays is all you need. Performance is great. The projection is crazy, including the sillage. This will just knock people out if you do more than like 4 sprays. But if you're going to the club, yeah, do like 4 to 6 sprays just to help stand you out and cut through all the other crap that's out there. But don't be a dick, okay? With the right attire, the right attitude, and the right swagger, this is a compliment getter. Now let's get into the actual list. First one is going to be Calvin Klein CK Free. This never, and I mean ever, gets any mention. I believe it came out either in like 2010 or 2011. But this is sexy. Like this is a perfect spring and summer scent. You're gonna get like juniper berries, there's some leather or some suede, but it's the anise. The anise is what adds that sexy, playful touch to it. There's a little bit of jackfruit that adds a little bit of a fruity nuance, but it's heavy in wood. So like oak and cedar, I believe it is, towards the base. But it's going to be like anise with jackfruit, then it's going to be like the juniper berries, then it's going to be the woody nuance. And I find that the anise lasts pretty much the entire scent life. On my skin it does. But this is a great going out scent. If you wear this with the right attire and the right attitude, very much like this one here, pretty much with every single fragrance in this list, if you're a douchebag fuckboy, you might not get anything. I'm just saying it out there. I'm giving you some advice that a lot of people are not going to be truthful with you. A lot of people in this community need a hard slap to the face when it comes to reality. I'm not an influencer. I'm doing a video kind of like that might be influencer like, but I'm not an influencer, okay? The influencers are not going to give you this type of reality check. Just saying. But if you want to wear this to school, by all means. But yeah. Sexiness that never gets any mention. Again, spring and summertime. Next fragrance, unfortunately, I don't have a bottle. I had one, but I gave it to my buddy Chad Secrets when we did the video. But that's gonna be Perry Ellis 360 White. Now, this video here is probably gonna go up before that one, but it is a sexy fragrance that's a cheapie and a banger. It's not one that I personally enjoy, because it smells very much like Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mans. It's just Le Mans on a budget. This one is like under 30 bucks. It does have that Le Mans DNA, but it's a little bit more powdery with a lot more citrus. That citrus is going to be lime, and there's orris root. I don't think that there's orris in like the original Le Mans, but there's like mint and lavender in the original. It's not in this one, but when I smell it, I get that. There's also going to be tonka bean to add a little bit of extra sweetness. There's going to be vanilla and of course musk. Very much, again, like Le Mans, just not the price tag. And performance is like 8 to 10 hours. For under 30 bucks, you can't complain. Next fragrance, this one never, and I mean never gets any mention. Very much like most of these fragrances, except for one. This one I talked about a lot last year, but this one, I think only 2 other people besides myself talked about it. Joy and me, so shout out to Joy, but as well, Cubby. You know, Cubby is like the godfather of the Fragcom. Fortunately, he took everything down, but Lacoste Elegance. This has like warm spices. I believe caraway, cardamom, and nutmeg. It's got raspberry. There's like an ambery touch with dark chocolate. This is sexy and probably the most expensive one in this list. At one time, this was going for about $30 Canadian, and I believe it goes between 50 and 60. Convert that to USD, if it's like, say 55 bucks, it's probably $41, $42. For me, it's not one that I love, but it's definitely different just because, again, raspberry, dark chocolate, that's a great combination. I love that as an actual food. You throw in the warm spices with the amber and boom, sexiness right there. Now the name itself is a little misleading. Elegance. There's really nothing elegant about this scent. There's really nothing classy, but sexy. It's not a sexy man whore type of sexy, okay? No, it's not that type of sexy. But if you wear this with a suit and tie on a date, not really like a wedding or like a semi-formal event, but if you wear this on a date, like a younger man, you know, I'm 47, I'll be 47 in a couple months, but you know, because of the fruity nuance and like that sweetness, I think that someone who's like in their early 20s or just someone in their 20s, if it's a first date and you're looking to impress and you're taking her to like, I don't want to say like an overly fancy restaurant, but if you're wearing a suit and tie with this, you could, like, you know, you'll get a compliment and she'll definitely like it on you. Longevity is going to be about 6 to 7 hours. Next one never gets any mention, and I believe that this was launched in 2005, so I can understand because this brand puts out a lot of stuff. Kind of like me at times. Sometimes it's more about quantity over quality, so I kind of have to scale back on some of the videos that I put out, but Calvin Klein Obsession Night. This is sexy. A lot of people just don't talk about this one no more. Back in the day, it got a lot of mention, but you know, oh man. So warm spices of like cardamom, there's nutmeg, some vanilla to add a little bit of sweetness to it. So the vanilla and the warm spices, nice. You throw in the pear, ooh, the pear adds a little bit of a sweet fruity touch. And as well, you're gonna get that backbone of patchouli. Prime night out fragrance, date, lounge, club, no, but this is definitely a night fragrance. It definitely is sexy. It is underrated, forgotten. You know, come on guys. If you want something that stand out a little bit different, go with this one here. And longevity, it's gonna be about 6 hours. And last but not least is the one that I talked about the most out of all of these fragrances here. I don't want to say that this was an introduction to the brand because I haven't smelled this one in years. But when Rush got me to do a video on it, I'm like, okay, sure. I remember not liking it then, but oh, your tastes do change as you mature and you get older. Boucheron's Jaipur Homme. This stuff is like the oldest in this list, came out in 98. I remember my dad either having this one or the, oh, like the other one, like the summer one. What is it? Oh, you know what? This brand is underrated. I really enjoy a lot of their offerings, but you're gonna get like lime and lemon. Definitely there. You're gonna get like benzoin, some spices. So some of the spices are gonna be like cinnamon. You're gonna get a little bit of tonka bean. There's like rose and carnation, which I really don't get. There's gonna be some patchouli or some sort of like earthy woods. And an unlisted note that I get is vanilla. Like there is just that sweet, creamy vanilla. Vanilla for me is a sexy type of note. Sometimes it makes it more playful, or sometimes it adds a little bit of class to it. This fragrance here is more for like the mature and sexy, you know, like the older gentleman, only because it's such an older fragrance. But if you're a younger man in their early 20s or just 20s and you like it, hey, more power to you. You probably are a lot more mature than like what your age really is. And for an eau de toilette, because there's also an EDP concentration, the EDP lasts longer, and it's pretty similar, I find, smelling. It's just the EDP is a little bit more denser and a little bit more thicker than this one here. EDP is like 12 hours. This is like 9 to 10. So you really can't complain. This is great for like daytime, nighttime, like dressing down. So like something like this, sense of fashion though. So I would go with a little bit more than this, but with a suit and tie or a tuxedo, you can't complain. Super versatile, long lasting, super sexy, and for under 40 bucks. You can't go wrong. So guys, that is 5 underrated cheapies for under 40 bucks, including 1, so 6. Any videos that I've done on these fragrances, they will all be down in the description box below. I haven't touched upon this one. I will be before the end of the season, so please check them out. If you want to see a cheapie sexy list or just a cheapie list, check out right here. And if you want to see the smell rate that I did with my wife on Valentino, check out right here. So I thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.